The torches of Rome once blazed for you. The cheers of thousands thundered your name. But tonight you are alone, hunted, trembling, and forgotten. What does it feel like, Emperor Nero, when even the gods turn their faces away? The air trembles with the roar of 100,000 voices. You stand upon the marble stage of the theatre you built, golden laurel pressing into your brow, silk robes cascading like molten fire. The torches burn high, their smoke curling toward the night sky, carrying with it the smell of sweat, wine, and anticipation. They are not here for war, not here for politics. They are here for you. Their emperor, their actor, their poet, their god. Your lips part and song spills into the air. A hush falls, broken only by the strum of the lyre. Eyes fix upon you, trembling, transfixed, as if your voice alone could raise or bury nations. And in that moment, you believe it. You believe they love you. But beneath the applause, there is something else, a whispering, a shifting. You catch it in the corner of your eye. A senator who does not clap as hard, a general whose gaze slips away too quickly. You smile broader, sing louder, as though drowning their silence in your music. And still, somewhere deep within, the question gnaws, would they love you if you were not their emperor? Or do they bow only because you hold the power of life and death? Later, the palace swallows you whole. Marble floors echo with your footsteps. But each sound feels like a reminder of emptiness. Servants bow low, their eyes never meeting yours. Their loyalty is precise, perfect, too perfect. You demand laughter, but none comes. You summon friends, but their smiles are thin. You drink, you feast, you drown yourself in jewels and song. Yet when silence descends, it is unbearable. In the stillness of night, you recall your mother's eyes as you ordered her death. You remember your wife, your tutor, your rivals, all silenced, erased. You tell yourself it was necessary, that Rome cannot have two suns in the sky. Yet every flicker of candlelight seems to twist into faces, accusing, whispering. The Senate praises you by day, but their words are fragile. You sense it. Their speeches drip with honey, yet behind their lips you taste the bitterness of betrayal. And still, you cling to them, because adoration is the only thing that keeps the darkness at bay. You were raised to be worshipped, not to be alone. Morning dawns over Rome, gilding the temples in a blaze of light. The empire stretches endlessly, its armies, its provinces, its riches, all under your command. And yet, the splendor feels hollow. A messenger kneels, trembling, delivering whispers of unrest. A rebellion far away. Soldiers deserting, generals hesitant. You wave him off, insisting Rome is eternal, your rule unshakable. But inside, your heart stirs uneasily. In the marketplace, you ride through streets lined with flowers and garlands. The crowd cheers, but you notice, not all mouths move. Some watch with blank eyes, some kneel too slowly. Their silence is louder than their shouts. And then, that night, alone in your chamber, you hear it. A chant carried faintly through the city's air. Nero, the tyrant. Nero, the monster. You stand frozen, torchlight flickering across your pale face. For the first time, applause and adoration are not enough to smother the truth. The people you ruled as a god are beginning to see you as a man, and worse, a man they might not forgive. The emperor's illusion has begun to crack. The morning sun barely penetrates the mist that coils through Rome's empty streets. You wake in your golden bedchamber, silk sheets tangled around you, and a foreboding chill crawling up your spine. The city feels different, not louder, not calmer, but sharper, as though the very stones whisper conspiracies. A courier arrives, breathless, with letters scrawled in haste. Vindex has risen in Gaul, provinces mutter rebellion, armies question their loyalty. You tear the seals with trembling hands. The parchment stings your eyes like betrayal made flesh. The Senate convenes. Faces once warm with feigned reverence now gleam with calculation. Senators nod and bow, but in their silence you hear the knives unsheathed behind their smiles. Friends you trusted, generals you admired, even musicians and actors you adored. Each step closer to you now seems measured, cautious, wary. You command a feast. Trumpets sound, dancers swirl, and yet, as you sing, your fingers brush over the lyre strings, a hollow note rings. No longer can music cloak the unease threading through your empire. Every cheer is a lie, every glance a judgment. You realize with growing horror, Rome is slipping from your grasp. You flee to the theatre, hoping to drown the world in spectacle. Lights blaze, curtains rise, the applause greets you, but it rings empty. Behind every smile, every nodding head, lies the shadow of doubt. You try to laugh, to revel, to summon joy, but it eludes you. At night, the palace corridors echo with whispers. Servants and guards glance at you sideways, their loyalty fraying at the edges. No one dares voice their fears, yet the air is thick with tension. You wander from room to room, seeking solace in familiar pleasures, feasts, music, wine. But the taste of ambrosia has soured. Even your beloved golden lyre feels like cold iron beneath your hands. You remember your mother, your tutor, those you crushed to solidify power. You wonder, would any of them have survived this betrayal? Perhaps Rome has always been a mirror, reflecting ambition and cruelty back onto the lonely man who clings too tightly to illusion. The streets hum with unease. Rebels gather, soldiers hesitate. The empire you shaped with fire and art, fear and blood trembles. Each step you take towards safety feels like sinking deeper into a trap made of your own vanity. By twilight, the city itself seems to recoil from you. The air smells of ash and iron. You pace the palace terraces, torchlight flickering against the walls, shadows leaping like spectres. Letters arrive. Generals defect. Provinces rise. The Praetorian Guard murmurs discontent. The foundation of Rome trembles beneath the weight of mutiny. You retreat into your mind, imagining applause, imagining faces smiling, imagining loyalty that once was yours. But reality presses harder. The once captive hearts of your allies have grown cold, leaving only suspicion and fear. You sense betrayal at every corner. Every door, every shadow, every silent footstep reminds you are alone. That night, you play your lyre in an empty hall. The music twists into a lament. Each note is a plea, each chord a reminder that power, once absolute, is now fragile, fleeting. Even the gods, it seems, have abandoned you. You close your eyes and let the strings weep, and in the silence afterward you hear the city chanting softly in the distance. Nero, the tyrant. Nero, the monster. The world turns against you. Allies vanish. Rebellion spreads. And yet in your heart a desperate ember clings to hope that art, beauty and charisma can still shield you from the crushing truth. Your reign is ending. The streets of Rome are no longer yours. Torches flicker against your face as you flee, wrapped in a cloak that disguises not just your body, but the last remnants of your dignity. Dust rises with every step, a choking reminder of the empire you once commanded now crumbling behind you. Every glance over your shoulder reveals shadows in the alleyways. Whispers follow your name like venom. Soldiers who once cheered your triumphs now hunt you, eyes cold, lips tight. Even the wind seems to betray you, carrying the faint chant of hatred from the city. Nero, the tyrant. Nero, the monster. Nero, in disguise, your golden robes replaced with tattered cloth. You stumble over cobblestones, tripping over your own fear. The god of Rome has become a trembling man, clinging to life with nothing but his desperate will. Every heartbeat pounds in your ears, louder than the trumpets that once heralded your arrival. Finally, you reach a villa outside the city, perched on a hill that overlooks the burning horizon. Smoke coils into the sky, twisting as though mocking you. The doors close behind you with a hollow clang. Only a handful of servants remain, their loyalty strained, faces pale with fear. You glance at them, pleading silently for comfort, for courage, for absolution, but none is given. The walls that once echoed with adoration now trap only your trembling solitude. Inside the villa, the flicker of candlelight casts your gaunt reflection onto marble floors. The mirrors betray the truth. Your face, once admired and feared, is pale, drawn, and marked with shame. You pace, wringing your hands, rehearsing the lies you could tell, the excuses you could make, but none of them will matter. You summon a servant to bring wine. Your hand shakes so badly that the goblet spills crimson liquid mixing with candle wax. Even this simple act, drinking, is now clumsy, pathetic. Music, once your refuge, remains silent, unable to mask the truth. The lyre, propped against the wall, seems to mock you with its unplayed strings. Every shadow moves with accusation. You hear footsteps that are not there, feel hands reaching to drag you into judgment. You think of Rome, of the Colosseum, of the theatres, of the cheers that once defined your life. Were they ever real, or merely the hollow echo of an empire built on fear and illusion? Night deepens. You sit alone, a small, shivering figure in a villa designed for a god. Your breath catches. The end approaches, not with grandeur, not with glory, but with trembling, awkward inevitability. The guards outside wait for orders you cannot give. The servants watch silently, knowing what must come. Morning arrives, grey and heavy, filtering through the villa windows. You attempt to summon courage. You speak to yourself, shouting at the empty room, conjuring visions of past victories. But the words feel hollow. Your voice shakes, betraying fear that is now inseparable from your body. A dagger lies on the marble table, cold and merciless. You cannot grasp it with strength. Your hands fail you. Your knees buckle. You fall, scrambling, fumbling over yourself in a grotesque parody of the mighty emperor who once ruled the world. Finally, with only a whisper of effort, the blade pierces your hand, then your arm. Pain flares, then fades into a numbing terror. You collapse fully onto the floor. The villa is silent except for your ragged breathing, the faint scratching of servants' feet, and the distant echoes of Rome, alive without you. Your eyes flicker toward the sky, imagining the city you lost, the empire that turned its back, the adoration that once felt eternal. It is gone, and in its place is nothingness. No fanfare, no memory, only the quiet, humiliating truth. Even gods can fall, and when they do, the world forgets them quickly, leaving only dust, shadow, and silence. In your final moment, you realize the cruelest irony. The flames of Rome once worshipped you, and now they burn for everything you will never be again. The emperor is gone, reduced to a mortal, to a man who could not survive the collapse of illusion. The torches of Rome no longer blaze for you. Once the city sang your name, trembling at your command, celebrating your art, your cruelty, your genius. Now, only silence answers. The streets you once ruled lie empty, the marble halls echoing nothing but the memory of your failures. You were a god once, adored, feared, untouchable. And yet even gods are mortal. The applause that once lifted you to the heavens has turned to whispers of hatred. Friends vanished, allies betrayed, provinces revolted, and the empire you held in trembling hands slipped away, leaving nothing but dust and shadow. Your story is a warning wrapped in tragedy. Power can elevate, but it can abandon just as swiftly. Vanity, indulgence, and fear built your throne, but none could shield you from the cold reality that the world turns on even its mightiest rulers. Your end was clumsy, pathetic, and painfully human, a mirror of the fragile illusion that surrounds all who believe themselves untouchable. And yet, there is a lesson in the ashes. In the fall of Nero, we glimpse the terrifying truth of ambition, that the higher we climb, the harder we fall, that adoration can vanish in a heartbeat. that a man can be worshipped as a god only to be remembered as a shadow. So, I leave you with this question. Was Nero a monster who deserved his fate, or a man crushed by the weight of power too great for him? If his story moved you, shocked you, or made you question the fragility of greatness, join the conversation. Share your thoughts in the comments, subscribe for more untold tales of history's fallen kings, and let the memory of Rome's last god haunt your imagination, as it should.